Welcome to the Fresh I Ching Tao Rebooted YouTube channel, and now we're going to talk about the third part of our Fresh I Ching project. The first part was the 64 hexagrams rewritten in fresher, cleaner form. The second part is going to be about the I Ching and 64 stages of narrative change. And this is the third part, entitled Swimming in the Tao: Repeated I Ching Principles and Cognitive Behavioral Change. It's something that we've been thinking about not for that long, a year maybe, although it's probably occurred in the last few years. If I explain the abstract, I think that will give more information. I wrote an abstract, and it says, from consistent study of the I Ching and its 64 hexagrammatical representations of all possible situations and their respective changes, it became clear that there were a number of principles that appeared consistently and repeatedly. And that's true. With consistent study of the I Ching, I started to notice, oh yeah, they're saying this time and time again. This is the fifth time I've read, like, bend, don't break, or take special care here, and I started to compile a list of repeated I Ching principles and started to cross-reference them with Lao Tzu and other Taoist texts as well. The second paragraph talks about that. Furthermore, from reading a variety of Taoist texts such as Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching and the superb works of Chuang and Li Tzu, a certain rewiring of neural pathways could be observed. What I noticed is, yes, by consistent study and reading of the I Ching, like these, that's when the term swimming in Tao became to be clear. It's like you're swimming in the Tao, and these ideas influence the way your brain works. This manner of mental reprogramming instantly recalled the groundbreaking work of Beck and his colleagues in their creation of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT as it is widely known. Me personally, something about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I suffered quite a bad accident and had a slight traumatic brain injury. And something that really assisted me quite a lot was the cognitive behavioral therapy, and I really like the way it works. I think it genuinely works. It can very easily, simply, effectively change the way your brain works, like change the way you deal with unhelpful thoughts. And when compiling this list of repeated I Ching principles, it occurred to me, wow, it's kind of doing the same thing. Third paragraph then. This current project is an attempt then to combine ancient Eastern wisdom with modern Western ideas of neurology and behavior. Our minds and our attitudes quite literally change our reality. Therefore, if we are able to swim in Taoist ideas and embrace the change that surrounds us, untold success is possible. There it is in a nutshell. That by swimming in the Tao, we are able to change the way our brain works. We need to embrace change. We say that life is change. We don't step in the same river more than once. We're in a constant state of flux. We're changing every day. And this holding on to, grasping onto the way we are right now, it just causes untold harm, and we need to embrace change, swim in the Tao, and our existence, our lives will be much easier. Regarding this project, fundamental Taoist principles have been extracted from the I Ching, and each of these principles will be explored in more depth using a framework of first an explanation of the principle, then a quick example, and finally a point of reflection. Okay, this is the very early stages of this swimming in the Tao or embracing change, the third strand of the Fresh I Ching project, which entails the 64 hexagrams I Ching and narrative structure, and this third part, like swimming in the Tao, I Ching and CBT. Let's get straight on with the first one that I attempted. This is the first of my list of like 50 or 60 principles. I just decided to do the first one. Repeated I Ching principle 1. Take special care at the start. Now that's I didn't plan this was number 1. This is just the list I started making when I was reading through the I Ching, the Wilhelm edition, and extracting key principles. This was the first one. Repeated I Ching principle 1. Take special care at the start. Brief explanation, further explanation of the principle. Start the way we mean to go on. That's obvious, but it's really essential. We need to start things properly, or they're bound to fail. Second point, be calm or negative aspects will creep in and ruin the project. If we just start 100%, if we start doing something without considering it properly, without planning, without taking special care at the start, our chances of ruination are greatly increased. When we start something, we are sending a message to the universe. I don't know if that's a bit metaphysical even for me, but it just came, I just wrote it. When we start something, yeah, we're sending a message, and that message should be sent a serious message, like this person is planning, this person is thinking, this person isn't just jumping over the edge, this person is planning a bit. And this obviously one of the most famous quotes from Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. But what I think is, but that step must be considered adequately, or the journey will fail. Even that legendary journey of 1,000 miles that began with the first step, if that step was just like the guy who was drunk, he just rolled out the bar and made a step to walk 1,000 miles, he's going to fail. You need to think about it. The ground must be laid properly, so we must consider how we mean to go on. That, for me, that's what it means by taking special care at the start. A quick example. Imagine if I join the gym and have no real plans about schedule or routine. Obviously, my likelihood of failure is much larger than if I had a small plan in place. Think about that. When you start something, in this case joining a gym, we need to plan. I can't just go to the gym, pay a month up front, jump straight in, or my chances of giving up is so much higher than if I plan a bit more carefully. Okay, I'm going to subscribe to the gym for minimum 6 months. I'm going to speak to the personal trainer. I'm going to go on the internet and get my exercise plan. I'm going to buy some new trainers. I'm going to stick at it no matter what. Obviously, then our likelihood of success is much greater. That was a pretty clear first example. And points for reflection. How can we all plan a small scaffold to help us as we start a new project? Is there any new project that you're planning? A new job, a dietologist, nutritionalist, going to the gym, meditating. Don't just start 1,000 miles an hour or you will fail. We need to plan. We need to take special care at the start. In conclusion, this was the first repeated I Ching principle from this project that we are entitling Swimming in the Tao, Repeated I Ching Principles in Cognitive Behavioral Change, which is the third strand of the Fresh I Ching umbrella project. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. It would be great to know if anyone's reading this or if anyone's listening to this and what your thoughts are. Have a great day and stay tuned for I Ching Principle number 2 coming soon. Thank you very much.